Hey, Joy Seekers, it's Jen, and welcome back to Find the Joy with Jen. Today's episode comes straight from a place of deep personal experience, something that rocked my world recently and gave me an entirely new perspective on wounds we carry, both seen and unseen. I want to tell you about a recent experience that caught me completely off guard, something that literally left a scar and totally disrupted my life for a while. But more than that, it taught me a powerful lesson about healing and how similar physical wounds are to the emotional wounds that we carry. This experience really taught me something powerful about grief, trauma, and the slow, intentional work of healing after divorce. So I'm excited to share that with you today. Before we begin, we talk about real healing and real heartbreak here. So if you've got a few emotional stitches of your own, click that subscribe button and join my recovery crew. So let me tell you about the diagnosis that changed everything for me. A few months ago, I went in for a routine dermatologist appointment. Nothing urgent, just a regular checkup. But my doctor noticed a very small black mole on my leg, something I probably wouldn't have thought twice about. And she said, "That looks suspicious." So she removed it right then and there. And a few days later, I got the call. It was melanoma. I had skin cancer. Just hearing the words shocked me. It was caught very early, thank goodness, but the treatment wasn't small. I went back in and they cut a big section of tissue surrounding the mole just to be safe. That tiny little dot turned into a deep, wide incision in my leg. And after 18 stitches, I was left with a wound that changed my daily life for sure. If you know me, you know that I am very physically active. I run and I walk with a weight vest. I lift weights. I hit the spin bike. You name it. I'm active outside, inside every single day if I can be. But after the procedure, all of that had to stop immediately. I had to completely shift how I moved and cut out almost all of my exercise and even how I lived my day-to-day life for a while. For the first few weeks, I couldn't do anything at all. The pain and the swelling were real, and the scar is still healing now, months later. I now wear a compression sleeve anytime I work out just to give it extra support. And let me tell you, the healing hurt. There was swelling and sensitivity and the awareness of the wound every minute of every day. It has stayed with me. Even now, there is a deep scar still healing, still very tender. But here's the thing, that scar will stay with me forever. It's part of me now, but it's not who I am. It's just part of my story. Divorce is a wound that you don't see. This experience made me think about another kind of wound, the one I see so often in my coaching work, the wound of divorce. Like cancer, sometimes what's happening in a marriage isn't obvious at all. It can start small, remain hidden, seemingly harmless, but if left untreated, it becomes toxic, even fatal to a relationship. And when the damage is deep, when trust has been broken or the relationship can't be salvaged, removal may be necessary. That's what divorce can feel like, a surgical removal of something that's become harmful. Divorce is like that melanoma, unexpected, terrifying, and life altering. For many of you listening, your marriage may have ended in a way that felt like something had to be cut out for you to survive. Maybe it was betrayal. Maybe it was years of emotional abuse or neglect. Maybe it was the death of a real connection. Whatever the reason divorce happens, it leaves a wound, a deep, intimate wound that no one else can really see or feel except you. And just like my surgery, you won't walk away the same. You walk away scarred, changed forever. So you might be asking, how do I heal from something so deep? One of the most powerful truths that I've learned in my healing and coaching work is this: you don't just endure pain, you integrate it. Enduring means gritting your teeth and waiting for the hurt to pass. But integrating your grief, that's accepting it as part of your story, not as the end of your story, but part of a beautiful, messy, sacred journey of becoming the new version of you. There's a newer model in grief recovery called growing around grief, and it's really changed everything for me. The idea isn't that grief gets smaller over time, it's that your life gets bigger. And this is a concept that I have taught my clients for years. After divorce, you get to create a bigger and better life for yourself. With intentional healing and support, you grow around your grief. Your heart expands. Your future expands. Your grief may still live in a corner of your heart, but it doesn't define your whole life anymore. You stop the bleeding and you start building. You start growing. When I was stuck in the thick of my own grief after divorce, I used to have moments that would send me spiraling. I'm sure many of you can relate to this. A memory would pop up, a smell, or a photo, or even a dream, and I'd feel this crushing regret. I'd panic, thinking, did I make a mistake? What I didn't understand back then is that I was in the bargaining stage of grief, that part of the cycle where you try to rewrite your past in your mind. You ask questions like, what if I had said this instead? Or what if we just tried harder? Or what if we could still work things out? Now, I really wish I could just go back and say to myself, Jenn, that was just bargaining. It's normal. It will pass. That simple understanding would have saved me so much fear and shame and allowed me to start the healing sooner. So, if that's where you are, if you're bargaining with your past, I want you to know it's just part of the healing and grieving process. This is why I am so passionate about helping others understand grief. Because when you understand what's happening emotionally, you're no longer at the mercy of it. You can say to yourself, I'm feeling this way because I'm grieving. This is part of the process, and it doesn't mean I'm going backwards. It actually means I'm healing. Just like I had to bandage my wound and wear a compression sleeve to protect it while it healed, you too need to protect your heart during this time. That might mean setting boundaries. It might mean journaling instead of sending that email or text message to your former spouse. It might mean working with a coach or a therapist who can help you see what stage of grief you're in and work through the stages to make progress so you don't get stuck like I did. So let's talk about progress. Let me be clear. Healing is not linear. You may feel joy again. You may start dating and begin laughing more than you cry. And then suddenly, bam, a wave of grief hits. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human and you're healing. You loved well. And this is the part of letting go, grieving that loss, and rebuilding a new life. Progress isn't about pretending the pain never happened. It's about living a full, expansive life, even with that pain tucked into your story. So let's talk about how you heal. Let me circle back to something crucial. After my procedure, I had to take care of my wound. No one else could do that for me. The doctor removed the cancer, yes, but the aftercare, that was all on me. I had to keep it bandaged. I had to rest. I had to change my routine. I had to slow down, had to check in with how I felt. I had to do ice and ointment and bandages. And even now, several months later, I am aware of it all the time. Healing after divorce is the same. You might not have caused this wound. Maybe you didn't ask for betrayal or abandonment or rejection or the heartbreak, but the healing, that is on you, my friend. You can't walk around showing everyone your emotional cuts, hoping someone else will come along and fix them for you. Imagine someone bleeding out, saying, look at what happened to me, but never actually stopping the bleeding. That's what happens when we don't take ownership of our own healing. You have to clean it. You have to bandage it, support it, and protect it. Otherwise, you bleed on everyone you love and every part of your life that you're trying to rebuild. It is your job to stop the bleeding. It is your job to do the healing. And I promise you, it is worth it, my friend, because a healed wound will leave a scar, but it also becomes a marker of strength, resilience, and growth. Some days that healing may look like rest or doing less. Other days, it might be hard emotional work, like acknowledging the truth in a coaching session or setting those boundaries and holding them with family members. Sometimes it means you wear an emotional compression sleeve. You do what it takes to protect your heart as it grows stronger. And yes, even when you start moving again, you might still feel that scar. It might be red and raw and sensitive for a while, but that is a sign of healing. Healing does not mean you go back to where you were before. It means you move forward as someone wiser, stronger, and more aware of your worth. Joy seekers, your scars do not make you broken. They make you brave. They mean you survived something real and you chose to live anyway. So, if you're in the thick of it, my friend, I see you. If you're nursing a fresh wound from your divorce, I want to remind you it's okay to hurt, but don't let that pain go untreated. Care for it, own it, let it change you, but don't let it define you because scars do not mean you're broken. They mean you survived something hard. Remember, you won't always feel this way. You can grow around your grief. You can rebuild. You can heal one slow, intentional step at a time. If this message resonated with your healing journey, give it a thumbs up. And I would love to hear what part of your grief have you started to grow around. Until next time, keep seeking joy, friend. Keep choosing healing. You are not alone in this journey. I am here for you, cheering you on every step of the way. Bye, y'all.